There you go. Now it's recorded.
And where'd you see that, Jamie?
Right there. Where your mouse is.
Right
In the green part.
stop sharing on the far right. There's that little circle.
Oh, it's blinking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Dr. Lorena, come say hi.
Hey.
We haven't flipped the whole room yet. Come. Oh, it's only air. Oh, wait, no one's on Zoom, so you don't have to say hi. We're flipping the room tomorrow. Get ready. Yeah, it is awesome. All right, so let's rock out a few more things in this ideal performance state world and all of those things. Y'all are doing great today. Stay checked in. And this is this whole thing with summer school. We know what? There we go. Is it still blinking? Okay, awesome. Oh, I can see. That doesn't look that big on the big screen. Okay. All right, so what do we talk about? Ideal performance state. Give me some things about ideal performance state. Being checked in, absence of fear. Personal control, attention to what's going on. Those are all things that are so important. Okay, so on page 157, there's this thing called arousal. Now, what arousal is it's simply the blend of psychological and physiological activation. It's almost like heart rate's up a little bit, mental good, everything is good. Just that state of arousal. Like all of a sudden before the game, you're starting to all of a sudden get checked in and all of these things move together. That's just a basic word that we talk about. You know, it's interesting for us to think about words that we kind of throw around, but then when we really put science behind them, it allows it to come together. Now, ask a question, because I'm going to take a drink of water. Is anxiety a real thing? Yes or no? Yes. So when you hear about people having an anxiety attack, are they blowing smoke or is it real? It is real without a doubt. Now, anxiety, what? Erica jumped in. Huh. Erica, we can't see your face, but if that's okay, you're okay. All right, so we talk about anxiety. There she is. We talk about anxiety being, there's 4 different kinds of anxiety. Now, the first one that we talk about is cognitive anxiety. So I want you to think about cognitive, and I want you to take your finger and I want you to tap right here. Tap right here. Cognitive, cognitive, cognitive. Say it. Cognitive, cognitive, cognitive. Now, whenever an athlete is having cognitive anxiety, they are thinking thoughts of dread. They're already thinking that they're going to lose before the gun goes off. They're all of a sudden thinking bad thoughts. I'm not going to be able to finish this. I'm not going to do it. Again, is the mind a powerful tool? Yes or no? Yes. So what is cognitive anxiety? Thoughts of worry and dread. What is cognitive? Thoughts of worry and dread. Now, another one is somatic anxiety. And I'm on page 158, if you're kind of following along a little bit. Okay? Is that so what happened to me, I wonder? If Erica jumped in, is it? All right, we'll figure it out. Okay, so somatic anxiety is whenever you have butterflies in your stomach. So anyone ever been like that? Heart's racing when you're standing still, yes or no? Yes, butterflies in your stomach. And that's when we also see, is anyone ever all of a sudden sweaty palms? Yes or no? Yes. Sweaty pits, sweaty arms, everything's like, oh. Okay, that is somatic anxiety. That is your body's chemical response to a stressful situation. So that's somatic, okay? Think about it. It's so in your gut. It is so in your, it's so in your pits. It's so in your hands. Somatic. Malik.
For the test, on the test, like, are we just defining like the word? That's how.
So let me tell you what I'll say. I'll say before test time, before Malik pushed go on that exam, he all of a sudden found that his hands and palms were sweaty. What kind of anxiety was Malik having? And you'd say somatic anxiety. Okay, that's kind of the way. It's all working knowledge. Yes.
Annie said she's trying to join, but she can't.
Okay, I love that. Hey, Erica, I think I'm going to completely boot this. Oh, but it won't let me. Restart. Just stay with us, Erica. You guys, y'all are awesome.
It said manage participants, and it had 3 up there.
Where did it say
At the
manage?
top. See, it says you got 3 people.
Erica's here, Shelby's here. Yeah, Shelby, we can't see you anymore. Oh, she has her camera turned off. I wonder why it won't let Annie join. There it is. She pop up.
She said how's the camera on? For her, she might be on.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, I wonder why it's not showing.
What's that word? You see how press it again, like little box?
This
There you go. Press, no, like little, they face, little screen. You see how it's like one 4 squares right there?
This one?
No,
4 squares, the next one.
Yeah.
Try that one.
Oh, looky there. Good job, Eric.
Yeah, yeah.
Good job. Eric is winning today. I love that. Okay, that was starting. Okay, so you guys, I was starting to think thoughts of dread and worry that this isn't working right. What kind of anxiety was I having? What kind? I was thinking those thoughts. And all of a sudden, butterflies, pit sweat, palm sweat. What is that? Somatic anxiety. Now, 2 other kinds of anxiety come into play. When we talk about state and trait anxiety. Now, here's what we know. State anxiety, it says, this is a subjective experience of apprehension. Okay, so all of a sudden, state championship basketball game. Okay, all of a sudden, let's say that Billy gets fouled and Billy goes to the free throw line. He all of a sudden, it is this, you know how they say the state of affairs. Have y'all ever heard someone say, this is the state of affairs right now? We're in financial trouble, or we're winning, or the economy is tanking. Whenever we think about that state championship, 3 minutes left on the clock, both teams in bonus, someone gets fouled. Are those measurable things that we can talk about? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the state of affairs. But all of a sudden, someone can bring state anxiety to that moment where they all of a sudden say, it's the state championship game. Both teams are in bonus. The game is tied. And your player that's the worst free throw shooter on the whole team is the one that gets fouled. So here's what kind, that kid knows that he's the worst free throw shooter on the team, yes or no?
Yeah.
He knows that. Okay, so what is he bringing to the line? No, okay, it is cognitive thoughts, but also he's taking those numbers on the scoreboard and bringing it to that line with that apprehension of this is not going to work out well or we're going to lose. That kind of apprehension. And then the other one of these things is trait anxieties. Now, would you say that every single one of us in here have a different personality, yes or no? Yes. Your personality traits influence how you end up being a part of the world. And what was interesting to me, when all of you bravely shared about stuff that happened to you when you were 12 or 13 years old, sometimes those things shape our personality traits about ourselves. You know, I tell this story sometimes because it's so terrible because, you know, I was an early bloomer. I have been 5'10" since I was in 5th grade.
I can relate.
Yeah. Okay. So I all of a sudden, you know, we were doing the presidential fitness test. We had a new fitness program. We did the presidential fitness test. And so it was our turn to go up there and get weighed and get measured. And, you know, girls are different than boys, yes or no? Girls are different. So all of a sudden, it's my turn to go up on the stage. And I am so apprehensive about what's going to happen. And all of a sudden, this witch of a PE teacher, which PE teachers should be the most amazing people, she was terrible. So I get on the scales, and I know that I'm a big person. And I know that I had already not wanted to be the biggest person around. And she says, 168 pounds, you're the heaviest person we've weighed today. And she said that out loud. Thanks for feeling my pain, Bailey. Okay, so here's what's interesting. I was in this situation when I was 12 years old. Do you think that those words have stayed etched in my mind and have made me form lifelong opinions about myself? Yes. Okay, so these are these weird traits that we all bring. So let's go back to the example. Billy gets fouled, worst free throw shooter on the team. Okay, let's make it worse. Billy comes from a terrible broken home situation. He really and truly has never had his dad be checked in for him. He kind of feels this weird sense of no one's there. But dad hears that it's the state championship game. Dad shows up drunk at lower level and screaming at Billy that he'll be worthless his whole life. Okay. I'm sorry. Again, depends on how you take that and perceive that information. So those personality traits are so important to who we are. And that's why it's up to us when we have the opportunity to coach and teach and guide people to help them get rid of those negative self-trait opinions and help lift everybody up. Because remember, the mind is just as powerful as the glutes. And the glutes are pretty darn powerful. Okay, so those are those 4 different kinds of anxiety that come into play with that. Now, let's talk about stress. Okay, stress can be 2 different things in your life. You can have eustress, which is spelled eustress, or you can have distress. Now, eustress is a positive stress in our lives that really puts a little bit of mild discomfort on us to actually be our best. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, that's my goal for this next 4 weeks. I'm going to put a little bit of eustress on you. It's a good stress. It's a stress that makes us all better. Does anyone ever have a deadline, a paper that's kind of looming out there? Okay? That deadline for that paper is eustress. It is one of those things that makes you perform your best. On the flip side of that, there is distress. Distress makes people shut down their energy stores. Okay? Distress is one of those things that happens whenever you find out that someone in your life is terribly ill. Whenever you all of a sudden have a car accident. Those are those major sources of distress in our life. Distress freaks out our nervous system. Eustress puts positive things on our brain and on our chemical receptors so that we actually perform better. Okay? So which one's positive? Eustress or distress? Eustress. Which one can cause performance to go up? Eustress. Which one tanks performance? Distress, without a doubt. Now, go over on to page 159. So you might want to be jotting these numbers down, at least if you're going to follow this. Okay, so there was this sports psychologist named Richard Hull, and he came up with this thought and this philosophy that he said, okay, whenever task complexity goes up, the potential for more stress goes up. Yes or no? Okay, go back to the triple jump analogy. Is the triple jump a complex skill? Yes or no? Yes. Here's what we know. If we follow Hall's drive theory, the more complex a task gets, the more mental check-in we need. Here's a question. Can you basically take a walk down the street without being crazily mentally checked in? Yes or no? Sure you can. Walking is not a complex motor skill for any of us, is it? We pretty much have all mastered walking. Say, yes, I have mastered walking. Yes, I have mastered walking. That's why we don't have to think of it very much anymore. Okay? Again, when people perform a well-learned, simple skill, higher levels of arousal can benefit your performance. So think about that. You want to stay aroused when it's really a more complex skill. Okay? Here's what we know. The more skill an athlete has developed, the better he or she can perform. So here's my big question for you. What do you have to do to develop better skills? Practice, train. You have to create muscle memory. Excellent. So we have to do this for our people. We have to do this for ourselves. And the reason I ask you to repeat things all the time is I'm trying to create muscle memory in your brain. Okay? So if all of a sudden I'm having sweaty pits, butterflies in my stomach, what kind of anxiety am I having? Somatic anxiety. So if all of a sudden I think about the terrible personality habits that I bring to the line, what kind of anxiety is that? No, those things are about me. Trait anxiety. Trait, okay? Personality traits come into play with that. Now, if you want to take a basic skill, okay, and make it better, you guys, you have to perform well.
What page is that?
I am on page 59. You did get instant access to it, didn't you? I love that. I love that. 159, excuse me. Sorry, Eric. Okay, so now we're going to keep moving forwards. Okay, now come over to page 161 now. What we need to understand, and we mentioned this already, on the bottom left-hand column, we talk about catastrophe theory. And you guys, an athlete may suffer a severe and catastrophic decline in performance if they continually revert to catastrophe theory. We have to keep our athletes away from catastrophe theory. So you're going to need to know about that. Okay? Now, look over there also on page 161 where it talks about motivation. Now, here's the thing. Motivation, when you define it, you guys, this is just the intensity and the direction of effort. Motivation is the intensity and the direction of your efforts. Now, if you're going to be highly motivated, you have to direct your efforts at whatever that task is. So for those of you that are highly motivated to do well in this class, you are going to have to direct the intensity of your efforts to your training sessions for this class. That's how to stay highly motivated. Now, two different kinds of motivation. We keep talking about two different kinds. There are people that are intrinsically motivated, and there are people that are extrinsically motivated. Now, people that are intrinsically motivated, much like we talked about the I'll show you with the hurdles back there, Sarah, much like we talk about I'll show you, Dad, drunk Dad, at the free throw line. Eric mentioned that. Okay? What we start to see is people that are intrinsically motivated are just motivated because it's coming from inside. Okay? Now, some people are extrinsically motivated. Some people need the carrot dangled in front of them. Some of you, if I all of a sudden say, who wants extra credit? Some of you are simply going to be dangling out there because they want the extra credit. Okay? That extrinsic motivation. Now, here's the big question. Is one right and is one wrong? Yes or no? No. Okay? So give me some examples. What can a coach do to facilitate people that are, let me go back with another question. If you, as a coach, teacher, or trainer, is an intrinsically motivated person, you are going to expect everyone around you to be just like you. And that's not cool. You're going to need to understand that you are going to have to put some extrinsic carrots out there for some of your people because that's what they need. Coaching, teaching, and training is not about what you need. It's about the people that need you to give them what they need individually. Okay? Let's just say that on the way to this second half of class today, let's just say that Bailey opened the door, okay? And all of a sudden the door closed real quick and Bailey slammed her finger in the door. Okay, well then, so let's just say she pulls her finger out, but she's still kind of paused there by the door because she just jammed her finger, yes or no? That would happen. So now Eric comes in the door and doesn't know that Bailey is standing right here. So he kind of pulls on the door and all of a sudden he pulls the door, hits his face, opens his cheek open, and now Bailey has a hurt finger. You now need stitches. Okay? So let's just say that Kiana now is talking on the phone and she doesn't see that Eric is standing there with a bleeding face because she's walking like this. Let's just say that she bumps into Eric, she falls down and gets a concussion. Okay, so now let's just say that Jamie is now walking down the hall and all of a sudden I say, hey Jamie, and she looks towards my office and she's like, yes ma'am, and I say, hey, tell everybody I'm finishing my workout, I'll be right there. And she doesn't see that Kiana is laying on the floor with a concussion. She trips over Kiana, all of a sudden compound fractures her leg. Okay, now listen to this. What if I walked in and gave Bailey a Band-Aid, gave Eric a Band-Aid, gave Kiana a Band-Aid, and gave Jamie a Band-Aid? That's only helping one person. Okay, but here's the thing. Did I treat you all the same? That's fair, isn't it? No. Is fair always equal? No. And I hope that you remember that analogy the rest of your life. Because people need different things from you all the time. It would be my job to all of a sudden make sure that Bailey's finger wasn't broken. Okay, and if it was broken, I'm going to get her to the trainer. We're going to get it splinted up. I'm going to grab a towel and hopefully, maybe he doesn't need stitches. Maybe we can butterfly or Band-Aid it. Okay, I'm going to call 911 and hopefully 911 will bring 2 stretchers because now I have someone that's on concussion protocol and someone with a compound femur break. Have fun with that Band-Aid. You guys, we have to meet people where they are. Great coaches meet people where they are. So again, and here's what else, maybe you're a coach that's all about dangling extrinsic motivation. Hey, I'm going to put a sticker on your helmet for every single tackle you make. I'm going to get you those new socks when all of a sudden we win the championship. I'm all of a sudden going to do this, we're going to go out for ice cream, which that's what coaches always say. Okay? Those people that are intrinsically motivated are like, I don't care about the sticker on my helmet. You have to know what makes your people tick. And you have to provide both kinds of support to those people. That is your job to do that. That is your job if you intend to do your job well. So you're going to see that I'm going to have some extrinsic stuff for y'all. And the intrinsic people are like, okay, it really doesn't matter. But remember, you've got to be with both. You've got to be with both. Okay? We tend to think that everyone is just like us because we tend to stay in our own little comfort zone. Okay? Hey, now listen, 2 other flavors. Check over here about achievement motivation. Now, 2 different kinds there as well. We have people that are motivated to achieve success, and then we have people that are motivated to avoid failure. Okay. People that are motivated to achieve success typically are intrinsically motivated people. You can, most of the time, you can parallel those things. They're intrinsically motivated and they're just motivated to achieve success. These people are like, you know what? I'm going to do great because I'm going to do great. Okay. Then you have, those are motivated to achieve success. The people that are motivated to avoid failure, these are the people that say, I'm going to do this because I'm not going to fail. I'm going to show you. Instead of doing it out of success, they do it to prevent failure. Which one's better? Which one's better? They're equal. They're the same. You know, I like to draw an analogy, and what the analogy is, it's a glass of water. Okay? And with this glass of water, we actually start to see that these may be my MAS people. They're motivated to achieve success and fill their own cup up. Okay? Then we have people that might be MAF. And they're going to be sure that that cup doesn't run out. What's the important part of this? There's the same amount of water in the cup. It doesn't matter if you're MAS or MAF. And you know, here's what's interesting. Stan and I, and y'all are going to hear some interesting stories about my fun family. Stan and I, which by the way, our anniversary is tomorrow, and I forgot about that until this morning. Oh, not real proud to say that, Stan, sorry. But we are going to have been married for 26 years. It's crazy. It's called your marathon year, 26 miles. We have 2 children. We have Cash and Carter. Cash is about to be 20 years old in June, and Carter is 15. And they are very different children. Okay, how many of you have siblings? Yes? How many of you are exactly like your sibling? Really? No one's exactly like their sibling? So what I want us to understand is that we have to figure out what other people need. It's interesting. We have one MAF child and we have one MAS child. It doesn't matter. It's the same amount of water. It's the same amount of water. Our older son, Cash, who is received an appointment to the Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point, New York, he is an MAF. I'm going to do this to show you I can do it. He was hell-bent on getting an appointment to one of the academies to show people he could do it. Whereas Carter, our 15-year-old, he doesn't know if the military is his route, but I'm going to be successful because I'm going to be successful. And I have to remember that I need to love both of them the same. Okay? What's interesting in our world is it's kind of the flip. Carter, my MAS, does occasionally need some extrinsic. Okay? He's like the carrot dangler. Cash, MAF, he's an intrinsic. You have to know this about your people. You can be an entire mix of all of these things. Malik, what do you think you are?
MAF.
You think you're motivated to avoid failure at all costs. Okay. Do you think what?
I said
Most definitely. And do you think you're intrinsically motivated or extrinsically?
no, that's not my brother.
Okay, so you're what? You need the carrot, or you got it in your heart?
Yeah, I got it in my heart.
You got it in your heart, but you're gonna avoid failure. Okay. Jasmine, what about you, babe? Same way? I kind of could have picked that about you. Sarah, what about you? Okay, very good. Aaron, Reinhardt.
I would say MAS and intrinsic.
Okay, see, that's me. That's a me. And that's, everybody kind of has the same. Bailey, what about you?
Probably
MAS and extrinsic? Awesome. Other Aaron?
I'm probably MAF and extrinsic.
Okay. You're like my Carter. You're like my Carter. Eric?
I'm the MAS.
MAS? And then are you intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? You like for me to say, come on, Eric, what you got? You want the sticker on your helmet. You want all that.
I need all that.
All right. Keisha, what you got? Kiana, sorry. Sorry.
That is definitely my drug name. MA.
I think I'll take a drink. She said that.
I don't know.
You don't really have to. You can be a mix.
I am definitely a mix of
Of
both things, yeah. It depends on where and what am I doing. Cause like in school, I'm like one way, like I'm MAF and eccentric, but like at work or like outside doing something like MAS and eccentric.
You like extrinsic.
Mm.
Yeah. Awesome. Jamie, what about you, babe?
I'm MAS in extrinsic.
Y'all, there are some extrinsic motivated people in here. That's going to be out of my comfort zone. Okay? That tells me that what do I need to do for you all? What do I need to do for my extrinsic people? I got to dangle the carrot for y'all to have you be your best. Okay? So again, you always assume that people are going to be just like you, and there's no one just like you. Let's check in with our people. Hey, Erica, what are you?
I'm definitely MAS and I'm extrinsic.
Okay, another carrot. Okay, awesome. Annie, what about you?
I would probably say MAF as well, extrinsic.
Okay, I could have guessed that about you. Now that I
Yeah.
I could have guessed that about you. Shelby, what about you?
I'm definitely more towards the failure side, and I'm very intrinsic about it.
Okay, do y'all see what a beautiful mix of all of this can be? We have to know this and we have to capitalize on this. Okay, hey, we're gonna call that a day. Okay, we're gonna have everyone, now that everyone at least has access to their book, if you ordered it on Chegg, you're good to go now, so you can get caught back up. I don't wanna go too much deeper without y'all having a chance to have your, not your study guide, but your training manual, not your study guide, but your training manual, okay? What?
We have to have that.
Well, you already have access to it.
Okay.
You have access to it.
Okay,
Yeah, training manual. Okay, that's what we have in this class, training manuals. Okay, just a minute. We got some questions, and if one person has a question, everybody else does. Sure.
I'm going to.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is, we are gonna rock. Okay, the way I've learned that Zooms are set up, I'm gonna start the one tomorrow at 1:30, and then we'll go from 1:30 to 2, and then we'll jump in with the 2 to 3. Does that work for everyone? Awesome. All right, team, y'all are doing great. Thank you for being patient with me. I really appreciate this. This is kind of an interesting concept. Is it kind of cool to see people on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. What I can also tell you is I do love for y'all to be in the room, but if you feel like you need to Zoom, you will have those email links. I'm going to kill the one for tomorrow at 1, and then restart another Zoom link for 1:30 for tomorrow. Okay? Anything you need to do, let me know. Anybody have any questions?
I want to say that, I just got a question. Like homework wise, how's that?
Are we gonna have a
Training manual.
It's all
Okay.
in the book.
Okay, yes, and let me also tell you, and like I said, we've been moving so fast. There are some great Quizlets out there that some people have made. You just need to look for them for theory of strength and conditioning. Some people do great with flashcards. I know that some people that have been really successful in class get together in little small groups and talk about it, because here's the thing. If you can talk about it, you know it. If all of a sudden y'all can kind of drill each other and have someone say, hey, Bailey, tell me about cognitive anxiety. What's cognitive? What's cognitive? What is thinking those negative thoughts? Okay. I've also been reading some research lately on, they say that learning is best done in a social situation. Okay. Now, I know some of you might be very intrinsic, maybe type B personality, and you need that alone time. If that works for you, that works for you. Okay. Some people like personal training sessions. Some people like group training sessions. So do what works for you. Okay. I'd budget some time for this. So let me tell you where we're going. We will finish chapter 8 tomorrow. Okay. Completely finish it. We're going to go through some relaxation techniques. That'll be in our first probably 30 minutes. And then when we come back for post halftime, we're starting chapter 1. And that's all. We're starting to get into the body. So what I would ask you to do is think about the analogy this semester of us building a house together. You guys, all of this psychology is the foundation, because it doesn't matter how strong the roof is if it's on a crummy foundation. So this is all foundation building. So when it comes to tomorrow, we're going to pour concrete. We're going to rough in the plumbing. We're going to do some things on the different body systems. Chapter 1 will go fast because you should know all of it because you've had A&P. Okay?
Nope. I'm taking that.
Okay. So it's good. Community learning. Okay. All right. You can do this. Training sessions. Question.
Yeah, are we gonna have any like practice?
I'm getting creative.
Okay, cool.
Told you I'm out of my comfort zone.
That's fine.
I'm so glad I'm comfortable up here because this other part's really uncomfortable, but that's how you grow. That's what, I think that God takes you out of your little box sometimes and pours miracle grow on you and then you get a little bit better. So that's kind of where I am with this. Yes. Your homework is training. Training. Yep.
That's okay.
So if you an MAF or
Yeah.
Just test. Yes. Game days. Game day. Game day. It's not a test. It's game day. Game day. Show off your training. Yes. It's game day. All right. Hey, I love being with y'all. God bless you. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Remember. Bye, guys. All right. Let me.
This is chapter 8. Oh, this is chapter 8.
Yes.
It's important to us.
Stop video. Okay. Hey, remember that we're not meeting in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna actually. I was
not
gonna
meeting tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Remember, I told y'all that.
Alright.
I know it's
So I was
all
about to come.
for y'all. And I tell you, maybe you budget that time.
Yeah.
Maybe you hold yourself accountable and you come in here with your book and
It's work.
I might send the whole group a message that says, hey, y'all come and work together.
That'll be easy. That'll be better.
I mean, that way you're scheduled, that way you're training.
That'll be better.
You can get into your portal. You can, y'all can take the quizzes together.
Quiz, come on. You already know. You're on the same page, right? Get everything done.
It's
Teamwork.
gonna,
Teamwork make the dream work.
I'm telling you, It's gonna take all of us, and especially for y'all that are in both the classes, it's gonna take all of us helping each other.
Especially
get
this
through this.
class. Yeah, this one, 150 questions.
Woo!
Whoa.
Is that like per test?
Yes, and it's cumulative. It builds on each other, which is good.
Okay.
It's good. Okay, so I'll see y'all at 1:30 tomorrow. I'm gonna rock Blue Cross Blue Shield. Remember we talked about.
did we?
Okay, no. I'm gonna rock Blue Cross Blue Shield socks off tomorrow morning, and then hopefully go work out, and then we're gonna sort of reset our room a little bit. Okay? Awesome.
Okay, how does like your absences work? Because I work during the day sometimes.
Yeah,
and so-
yeah, I remember. Didn't you email me that?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay,
So,
someone else. Here's the thing. I'm recording these. I'm gonna get them on that flash drive. I'm gonna upload them to YouTube. In this kind of, I mean, it's really.
it's only like Mondays and like Thursdays. It's not
Okay.
every day.
Okay, so then what'll happen is, I'll email the link to the video, and then it's just, I really can't penalize for absences in a class that's set up this way.
Okay, I was just making
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
I love having your beautiful face in the room, but.
Oh yeah, no, of course I will be here. Like, so because I'm not really good at online stuff anyways. Because I know myself, I won't come or like I won't do it. So I have to come to class anyways.
Yeah.
So
Isn't it sad that everything is going to online?
Yeah, no, I can't. It's not something I can focus really well in because I have to have like that relationship with my teacher, or else I would go to class.
Well.
But yeah, like it starts at 2, so like if I could like come to class and then just leave like at like 1:45,
Sure, sneak
that
out.
would be cool. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that'd be good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's summer, honey. We're on a relaxed schedule.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You bet.
Mine plays off of that.
Okay.
The technology stuff. So this is my deal. Is I couldn't afford to stay on campus for the summer, so I'm living at home, and that's a 2-hour drive for me to be here. I don't do well with online, but on days that it's like storming or something that I can't get here, what are we using?
Zoom.
What is this?
Okay. So all you need to do is you'll need to download the Zoom app.
It's
You could even, I mean, you could watch it, you could watch with us on your phone.
Really?
You could be in here with us.
Okay.
So all you would need to do is that email that I sent y'all about joining the links,
Okay.
okay? You would just click on that link and it invites you to a meeting, and then they jumped in.
And then just like at that time,
Yeah,
jump in? Okay. Got it.
I mean,
I'll figure it out,
yeah.
but I'll be here.
Well, I don't want you to have to drive 2 hours.
It's not a bad drive, really, but I need that classroom. I'm like her. I'm not
Okay.
good with technology. I need that classroom stuff. So
Well, I love having y'all in the classroom. This was fun though. Wasn't it fun to talk to some people?
it was interesting.
Yeah. So,
Okay, but it's just an app and whatever. Just email you if something goes wrong.
well, I'll always bring my phone into class. Right here. And that way you can all of a sudden shoot me a text saying it's Sarah and it's not letting me join for some reason.
Okay.
Okay. But I tell you what we could do as a practice round. Are you planning on being here tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Okay. While you're in the room, let's try to join you in the Zoom.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
just see if we can make it happen that way. And then we'll feel confident with how you'll develop a skill. It'll be awesome.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
It's awesome. What's up, Aaron?
Okay, so there's no nutrition tomorrow. right?
Correct. Not
So
tonight.
is it that class only on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Or is it just that one day a week?
I'm really trying to juggle the schedule and see.
Okay.
Okay. I know it's listed as a hybrid. I think we definitely need, now of course, next Monday is Memorial Day, so we won't. But I think we're gonna need each other for a little bit, because seeing Thursday how all the nutrition math went, I'm gonna believe it went awesome. But if there are some people that aren't, I mean, that's the foundation of everything we have going. So,
Okay.
yeah, hope, it's only, I need to look at the schedule and see how quick we progress.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I know y'all want to set work schedule and all that, and I understand that, and I appreciate that, and people want to go home.
Yeah.
And all of that. So we're gonna be flexible, we're gonna make it work.
Okay.
Okey doke. Nice to meet you, Aaron.
You too. See you tomorrow.
It was awesome. Now, what I can't do is, I couldn't make it on this PC. For some reason, it stuck them. Somebody what? I know.
How was Zoom?
It was fun. It was fun.
Doing a little motivational factors?
Are you hearing?
No, I'm just.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean-
Oh, yeah. So they had to identify which one they were, and then intrinsic, extrinsic, how that all works. Because we were talking about so many times, you know, if I'm an MAS intrinsic, I think that everybody should be that, instead of realizing that you have to meet your people. You have to meet your people. I had so much fun today.
We should have had this class together today. I talked about the psychology of the injured athlete.
Y'all talk about cognitive anxiety and somatic anxiety and
No, we
state.
didn't go that far. You should talk about that in prevention and care.
Mhm.
Which is a prereq. So.
Yeah.
I've always been hoping somebody read that chapter.
Probably
Well, so I didn't go on that. So maybe we shouldn't. Well, stop in to say bye.
See ya.
Thanks for a whirlwind day.
Crumb, I'm not seeing.
You feel good about what you accomplished today? It's good.
Have a good start on my city of rock proposal.
Next week. Next week.
The 31st?
I thought it was due before that. It's okay. All of our assessments are due by the 20th. There's weeds empty. So. Yay.
Just copy paste from somebody else.
What are we copying and pasting?
Student assessment of Athens.
It's not even school of or office of. It's not even programs. Not that.
So we need a mission,
I need to start there. But I've got,
then a vision.
well, I've got 6 days to get it done.
You can. We
Kinda
only
have to.
talk about things we can do. We do not talk about things we cannot. Do
What?
not self-impose
What?
nor impose limitations upon others.
Psychobabble, are you?
Just talking about therapeutic exercise and rehabilitation.
Don't impose limitations on.
Isn't that kind of stuff is not your favorite stuff to do, is it?
What?
That kind of mission, vision.
I like fostering it. I don't like doing it.
I don't like missions and visions that are so large that you're like, really?
Yeah.
Like Rutherford College, like Rutherford High School. It'll be a world-class district of choice. How about let's just be Parker County's district of choice? Because right now, we're not even Parker County's district of choice.
What is it?
Oh,
So like, I'm even like,
It's still
you're
works.
trying to say the world, maybe.
let's just start with Parker County.
So this one's right though, you know? Y'all have a great day.
I'm gonna not get out of here for another hour. Well, I have my homework for today.
Oh, these are very odd chairs.
Very hard. I wasn't expecting that. Kayla was very proud of them. I am not gonna call her that ever again.
Why?
These things are different now. My digital editions. Download. I don't think I recorded my last session. Where else would it be? Where else would it be? Any idea? I told it to record it to this PC. Is it on the desktop?
Videos? No. Well, that stinks.
Well,
Should just do it again.
you know, I might end up doing that. I mean, I have to for the people that are, oh no, wait, here's some stuff. Oh, that's. You know, it looked totally different when I opened it up today. I felt weird because I mean, I was like, I practiced this twice on Friday.
Probably updated last night. Doing good.